What if you could understand someone's thoughts without them saying a word? Sounds like a superpower, right? In reality, we all have the ability to read nonverbal cues, those subtle yet powerful signals that reveal a person's true emotions, thoughts, and intentions. Whether it's a shift in posture, a fleeting glance, or the way someone crosses their arms, nonverbal communication speaks volumes. This ability to understand people goes far beyond just decoding facial expressions. It taps into a deeper, almost intuitive connection with human nature. And here's where Stoic philosophy comes in. Stoicism, an ancient school of thought, teaches us to observe the world without bias or judgment. The Stoics were masters of this practice, using keen observation to understand human nature and interpret the unspoken cues around them. In this video, we'll explore practical ways to read people's nonverbal cues, tapping into the wisdom of Stoic philosophers to sharpen our understanding. You'll walk away with actionable techniques that are simple to use but powerful in everyday interactions. Let's dive in. Nonverbal communication plays a huge role in how we understand one another. It goes beyond what's spoken. Body language, eye movement, tone of voice, and even subtle gestures can carry messages that words alone often fail to express. Studies suggest that 60 to 70% of communication is nonverbal, meaning that much of what we truly communicate happens through these unspoken signals. The way someone shifts their posture, the look in their eyes, or the tone of their voice can tell you more about their feelings, intentions, and mindset than any verbal exchange. It's like the hidden layer of every conversation. From a Stoic perspective, careful observation of the world around us was essential. The Stoics believed in the importance of seeing things as they truly are, without jumping to conclusions or passing judgment. By focusing on what is in front of us, without letting our emotions or biases cloud our perception, we can better understand human behavior. The Stoics recognized that by improving our ability to observe the world, especially nonverbal cues, we could gain valuable insights into the nature of others and respond with greater wisdom. Imagine being able to spot someone's true feelings without them saying a word. What would that reveal about your interactions? By tuning into nonverbal cues, we can deepen our understanding of people, build stronger connections, and navigate the world around us with more clarity and confidence. It's a skill that, when honed, can transform the way we communicate and engage with others. Body language speaks volumes about someone's emotional state, confidence, comfort level, and intentions. It's often the first thing we notice in an interaction, and it can reveal what someone might not be saying aloud. For example, an upright posture can indicate confidence and engagement, while slouching might suggest disinterest or discomfort. The positioning of someone's arms and legs can also be a major clue. Crossed arms may seem defensive or closed off, but sometimes it simply indicates that someone is cold or trying to feel more secure in their space. Facial expressions can also tell you whether someone is at ease or struggling with emotions. A furrowed brow might signal confusion or frustration, while a genuine smile can reveal openness and friendliness. Overall, body language is a reflection of how we feel and how we want to be perceived by others. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius understood the importance of observation, but they also emphasized the need to see things as they are, without adding our own judgments or assumptions. Epictetus famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This encourages us to observe carefully and not jump to conclusions. Similarly, when reading someone's body language, it's important not to rush to judgment. For example, if someone crosses their arms, it doesn't always mean they're being defensive. It could simply mean they're cold, or maybe they're just feeling more comfortable in that position. Being aware of the context and not assuming too much is key. When it comes to practical tips for reading body language, there are some telltale signs to look for. If someone's feet are facing you, it often means they're engaged and interested in the conversation. On the other hand, if their body is turned slightly away or their feet are pointed towards the door, it could indicate they're feeling disengaged or uncomfortable. Another common gesture is leaning forward, This can signal attentiveness or curiosity. Conversely, leaning back might suggest disinterest or even defensiveness. But what if the person you're reading has been giving off all the wrong signals? Could it be that you've misunderstood them entirely? Non-verbal cues are complex, and a deeper understanding of context and individual differences is essential to truly interpreting them. Eyes are often referred to as the window to the soul, and for good reason. They convey emotions that words sometimes cannot. A steady, confident gaze can signal trust, openness, and self-assurance, while avoiding eye contact can indicate anxiety, discomfort, or even dishonesty. In moments of genuine connection, eye contact is a powerful tool, fostering trust and intimacy between people. On the other hand, darting eyes, excessive blinking, or glancing around the room can suggest distraction, nervousness, or a lack of truthfulness. The eyes are constantly communicating, and being able to read them is a key to understanding someone's emotional state and intentions. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, emphasized the importance of presence and being fully engaged in the moment. In his writings, Seneca often urged individuals to focus on what is right in front of them, observing without distraction. This advice can be applied to reading eye movements. When someone maintains steady eye contact, they are often showing interest, trust, and sincerity. Conversely, if their gaze shifts frequently or they avoid eye contact altogether, they may be uncomfortable or trying to hide something. The Stoics understood that by observing these subtle cues, we could gain insight into a person's true thoughts and feelings. Interpreting eye behavior goes beyond simple gaze patterns. For instance, someone who is engaging with you might look you in the eye for a few seconds and then glance away, signaling a natural flow of conversation. But if their eyes are darting quickly, it might indicate they are uneasy or not fully engaged. Excessive blinking can sometimes signal stress, discomfort, or even dishonesty as the body reacts to emotional tension. Conversely, steady and focused eye contact typically signals confidence and authenticity. The Stoics were keen observers of human nature, and the eyes were often a primary indicator of truth. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, knew that people could hide their thoughts through words, but their eyes would often betray their true intentions. Eyes reveal whether someone is truly present in the moment or if their mind is elsewhere. When you can read these subtle cues, you gain a deeper understanding of a person's true state of mind. Have you ever caught someone in a lie simply by watching their eyes shift? What can their gaze really tell you about their intentions? Through careful observation, we can see the truth, sometimes without a single word being spoken. Small, unconscious gestures can reveal more than we realize about a person's emotional state. Things like fidgeting with a phone, adjusting clothing, or tapping fingers often signal nervousness, discomfort, or a lack of confidence. These subtle movements might seem insignificant at first glance, but they can be the key to understanding someone's true feelings. For example, if someone is constantly shifting their posture or avoiding eye contact while speaking, they might be feeling uneasy, even if their words suggest otherwise. This is where the concept of micro-expressions comes in, brief, involuntary facial expressions that can reveal emotions someone might try to conceal. These fleeting moments often expose the raw emotions that words can't capture, like a brief flicker of doubt or a flash of frustration. The Stoics believed in the practice of detachment, observing the world without judgment. By adopting this mindset, we can improve our ability to identify underlying emotions without letting our own biases cloud our interpretation. Just as the Stoics were taught to understand human nature by observing what is before them, we too can learn to interpret these small gestures as they are, without jumping to conclusions or over-analyzing. By practicing detachment, we can remain neutral and open-minded in our observations, allowing us to see a person's true feelings more clearly. When reading small gestures, it's important to pay attention to things like fidgeting, hand movements, sudden posture changes, or facial expressions. Frequent hair touching, for example, can indicate anxiety or nervousness, while someone who keeps shifting positions may be trying to get more comfortable or escape a situation. These actions, though subtle, can reveal a lot about someone's emotional state. Have you ever watched someone speak with a smile, yet their hands gave away their nervousness? What happens when the body betrays what the words try to hide? Small gestures can often reveal the truth behind what's being said, providing an insight into a person's inner world that words alone may not express. Proxemics, the study of personal space, offers valuable insights into how people interact with one another. The distance between individuals can tell you a lot about their level of comfort, familiarity, and even the underlying tension in a situation. When someone stands close to you, it often indicates a sense of intimacy or a strong connection. On the other hand, maintaining distance can suggest discomfort, formality, or a lack of interest. The way people position their bodies in relation to others also speaks volumes. If someone is leaning in, they're typically engaged and interested. However, if they step back or turn their body away, it can signal discomfort or disengagement. Proxemics helps us gauge the unspoken dynamics of social interactions, showing us how people feel about us and the situation at hand. From a Stoic perspective, respecting personal boundaries is essential. The Stoics understood that harmony in relationships comes from recognizing and respecting each other's space. Marcus Aurelius, for example, often reflected on how we should maintain a sense of inner peace by understanding and accepting the nature of others. In the context of proxemics, respecting the space between people allows us to observe without overstepping, ensuring that we don't invade someone's comfort zone or impose on their boundaries. Proximity can reveal a lot about how comfortable someone is in your presence. Closer distance may indicate a higher level of comfort or interest, while greater distance can suggest discomfort or a desire for privacy. When reading proxemics, pay attention to whether someone leans in during a conversation, as this typically signals interest or engagement. If they step back or avoid closer contact, it might indicate that they're feeling uneasy or distant. It's also important to remember that cultural differences can influence how people use space. What feels comfortable in one culture might seem intrusive in another. Context matters, so always consider the situation when interpreting proximity. Ever had someone invade your personal space? Or felt the distance grow between you and someone else? What does this physical space say about the dynamic between you? The space between individuals often reveals more than words ever could, showing us how we're truly connected or disconnected at any given moment. Facial expressions. The unspoken truth. Facial expressions are a powerful form of non-verbal communication that can reveal emotions before someone even consciously processes them. These quick, often involuntary changes in our face, known as micro-expressions, can offer a glimpse into our true feelings. For instance, a raised eyebrow can indicate surprise or curiosity, while pursed lips might suggest anger or frustration. A sudden eye twitch could signal discomfort or anxiety. These fleeting moments happen so fast that they often go unnoticed, yet they provide critical insights into how someone is really feeling, sometimes before they even realize it themselves. The Stoics emphasize the importance of emotional awareness and self-control. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the value of observing our emotions and thoughts, understanding them without letting them dictate our actions. By being attuned to facial expressions, we can gain deeper insights into others' emotions, helping us respond with greater wisdom and empathy. Recognizing micro-expressions can guide us in understanding what someone might be feeling beneath the surface, allowing us to engage more effectively in conversations and relationships. When interpreting facial expressions, pay close attention to subtle shifts in the mouth, eyes, or brow. A slight tightening of the mouth might indicate frustration, while a raised brow could signify confusion or disbelief. Genuine emotions often show up on the face before words are even spoken, so learning to recognize these signals can be incredibly valuable. These fleeting changes in expression can offer a wealth of information about a person's true emotional state. What if someone's true feelings were right there on their face the whole time, just waiting to be uncovered? Could you spot it? Recognizing these micro-expressions can unlock a deeper understanding of others, revealing emotions that words alone may not express. In this video, we explored 5 key methods for reading people: body language, eye movement, small gestures, proxemics, and facial expressions. Each of these non-verbal cues provides unique insight into a person's emotional state, thoughts, and intentions. By observing without judgment, just as Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught us, we can better understand human nature and connect with others on a deeper level. Start practicing these techniques in your daily life. Observe people without bias and apply Stoic principles to approach each interaction with curiosity and openness. By becoming more aware of nonverbal cues, you'll not only improve your understanding of others, but also gain a greater awareness of yourself. Now that you've learned how to read people, how will this change the way you interact with those around you? What will you discover about them and yourself? The ability to understand the unspoken language of others can transform your relationships and deepen your connection with the world.